Would Kurt Cobain be a far leftist, or would he be a part of MAGA, or would he be a part of the RFK crowd if he was alive nowadays? I'll go into that a little bit later. First off, I want to talk about what happened with the Foo Fighters. First off, what got me into rock music to begin with was The Offspring. That was my first favorite band. I loved The Offspring. Since, if you look at the old Offspring, listen to the words, listen to their music, and see how they're complete sellouts now. How they're, it's so funny how these punk bands who were anti-establishment are for the establishment now. One of my favorite punk bands ever was Anti-Flag, and these people are completely leftist. You know, when you hear these popular bands like Offspring or Green Day, you get it. But then you hear like independent thinkers like Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys. He's a far leftist, and it seems like a lot of these bands just go far left. They're with the establishment now. They're so fucking fake. They're fake ass fucking bands, or they just don't pay attention to politics. That could be, and they just think that, you know, the left is what they were when I was a leftist. That could be too, but it's kind of weird that nobody can get at them and tell them, hey, listen, like, you are pro-establishment, you're pro-war now. Like, go back and listen to Anti-Flag. They were anti-establishment, anti-war, pro-free speech, and now they are all for it. And you hear about Green Day. Green Day is definitely one of the sellout bands, for sure. And then people could say Nirvana was a sellout band. Kinda. I think that they wanted to, I think that you can be famous and not be a sellout. You could still push back and not go with what the establishment wants you to. You could be kind of limited with when you sign contracts. That's why if you're an independent artist like myself, it is way hard. Or like Tom McDonald, he's like the biggest independent artist out here. You have to do everything yourself, and you're not tied down to any contracts, so you just have complete freedom. But there's a lot of work that comes with freedom, and that's what people don't understand. Is like, there's no freedom really in this world. You're going to be tied down to something, either hard work or somebody else's hard work, and then you have to listen to what they want. With the Foo Fighters being pissed off that Trump, one of his rallies played My Hero, was supposed to be wrote, I guess, about Kurt Cobain. They played that song when RFK was introduced, when he came out on stage for Trump's rally to endorse Trump. So apparently Trump has a license, the Trump administration or whatever, and the Foo Fighters were ignorant in their comment. They haven't posted nothing about it that I'm aware of. They basically said they're going to donate all the royalties to the Kamala Foundation, the Kamala campaign, and they're gonna sue. Isaac Hayes' fucking dumb kid is like suing them over copyright infringement. Now, I'm not a copyright expert, but if you have the licensing, there's not much they can do if they have signed off on the licensing, from what I know. And after 75 years too, after a song has been put out there, any copyrights are voided and anybody can do anything they want with that song. So I could take songs from 75 years ago and do whatever I want with them. Play them whatever I want. It's so fucking, like, so weird to me how these artists who are ultra fucking famous, ultra rich, are complaining people are like listening to their music and putting their music out there, whether it's for a political cause that they like or they don't like. If hypothetically Kamala wanted to take one of my songs and play it, you think I would care? And if I was rich, I wouldn't give a shit, dude. It's like, cool, man. I'm glad people enjoy my fucking music. Go ahead and play it. More money for me or whatever. More exposure for me. Especially like the Foo Fighters. when I bought their album, there's like a couple songs I liked off of the first album. I mean, there's some songs that they created that were pretty good. I have never really been too impressed with Dave Grohl's vocals. I know he's okay, he's not bad, but yeah, they were nothing compared to Nirvana. When I'm listening to Nirvana, like, I like the old stuff, the stuff that people don't really listen to, the stuff not on the radio. I still like some of the stuff off the radio, but it's mostly like the stuff that is really rare. And then like Marigold will pop up, because, you know, I play like some playlist or whatever, and now I'm like, skip. I'm not impressed. It's just kind of mid. As the kids would say, it's fucking mid. It's not impressive. His drumming is impressive. It's just I don't know, it's just not, but it's just funny how these artists are. And I'm for like copyrights being abolished. I'm so tired of trying to make a video and you can't make a video because there's this in the background. It's so stupid. You know, soon all entertainment's gonna be free anyway. So, because like, if all of our jobs are taken, we're not gonna need currency anymore. I think clout likes and dislikes and stuff like that are going to be the currency of the future. That's what I think. That's going to give people motivation. Okay, would Kurt Cobain be left, right, center, whatever nowadays? When I was a huge Kurt Cobain fan, like, I was obsessed with him. I wanted to be that dude so bad when I was young. Not anymore. I abandoned that a long time ago, but I still respect, you know, what he accomplished. I think he would be I think he was a pragmatist. So if you look at Dave Grohl, he's obviously for the establishment, or it's the management and he just goes along with the management because he's a fucking sellout. It's like, dude, you're fucking popular and rich. Like, who what the fuck are they gonna do? They're gonna sue you? Like, that, like, these contracts are so stupid. Anyway, and then you look at Chris Novoselic, who's also, he's a conservative, man. One of Kurt's best friends ever. Growing up, he started Nirvana. I think like they had other names called like Pink Cap Shoe and Bliss, stuff like that. Well, Kurt was there. They went through a bunch of different drummers. And Dave came in at the right time. He was a phenomenal drummer, completely phenomenal. So like, given the state of, you know, when Kurt was, he cross-dressed. He was for women's rights. He was for LGBT. I don't think he didn't really. I don't know if he had anything to say about trans. I think that he'd be fine with trans, but what I do know too is he wanted to make more money than the rest of the bandmates, and that caused like a conflict, because he wrote all the songs. Like he wrote the guitar, he wrote the lyrics, he sang the songs. Like he felt like, I think it was Courtney's influence, but still I don't think he was a communist. So if he wasn't a communist in his own band, I don't think that he would be overall a communist, especially getting older. What age he would be right now, I don't know. What would he be in his 60s, late 50s? Usually people like get more conservative the older they get, because they have more, like when you're young, it's like I'm a leftist because that's what the school teaches you, and that's what it was completely different than what it is now. And I think that Kurt would see that the landscape of things, how things change. He was a rebellious person. He was anti-establishment. He was pro-free speech. I'm thinking he was anti-war. Pretty sure he was anti-war. I don't think that he was a violent person. I don't think he liked war. I think that he would like some of the stuff off the left, and I think that he would like some of the stuff off the right. I think he would be honestly aligned with me in a lot of things when it comes to the right. Like, I think that he would be, because he wasn't gay. I think he wanted a traditional family. So I think he would be conservative when it comes to family and finances. But like, you know, lifestyle, he would align more with the left, you know, probably pro-choice and stuff like that. That's why I think that he would kind of be like in the RFK type of boat. That's where I think he would align. Maybe, I think he would be left-leaning, but I don't think that he would just be some like hardcore leftist. He might be though. I'm not saying he wouldn't be, but what I'm saying is, like, he was pro 2A, and you know the left is about taking away guns. And the big thing is free speech, man. The censorship. Like, I think that he would be more aligned with not holding back people's free speech. Like, he does not like the establishment, even though he got famous from the establishment. He did not like the establishment. He didn't like the way things were ran. You do as we say, or whatever. Well, listen, MAGA is the most rebellious, popular movement in my lifetime. You know, the punk rock, they're all about like rebelling, of course, but the popularity of it was minor compared to what MAGA is. Yeah, I think that he would definitely be more aligned with the MAGA movement, especially with RFK joining MAGA. Now, you know, who the hell knows? Like, it's just all hypothetical, and I didn't know the person. I didn't know him in real life, so this is all just what I see from what I know from him. I spent a lot of time like reading and watching all of his interviews and all that type of stuff, but like, I never knew the dude in person. So anyway, so I never knew the dude in person. However, just like with the stuff that I'm saying, and which it's obviously oversimplified, I think he would just be very pragmatic. You know, people have this misconcept with Trump or Trump supporters. Like, yes, there is a faction of Trump supporters who are cult-like, and like these people attack me and they can go fuck themselves, you know, the cat turd fucking cult. But a lot of Trump support, like all these people are just coming out right crazy. It's 5:30 in the morning and everyone's like coming out like a party. Anyway, so what a crazy distraction to throw my mental track off. Trump isn't going to ban abortion, okay? He's not. He thinks this should be left up to the states, which I think, just like I think that marijuana should be left up to the states. It should be decriminalized and left up to the states. Do I think that it's completely disgusting that abortion is all the way up until birth in like 7 blue states? Yes, I think it's disgusting, and I think it's uncalled for. And I think that people can, if they want to get away with murder, because I think it's fucking murder. You know, I have 2 kids that are both born C-section, and I looked up an abortion, a late-term abortion. It said it could take a few hours to a couple days to do it. Well, if it's an emergency and the mom's life is at risk, why would they choose an abortion over a C-section? A C-section takes like an hour. But Trump is more about, you know, states' rights, freedom, and the left just lies. They just lie, and he doesn't hate LGBT. Like, I think that he's more like, just leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. You know, if you want to be LGBT, go ahead. And there's this like concept that he's like racist, this and that, and he's not, man. He's not racist. It's like all this propaganda is pushed by the left, and it's just, it's so crazy to see like the propaganda pushed by the left, and the censorship. Like the guy from Telegram, I don't know, I've heard that. I never used Telegram. I guess the guy, I guess there was child porn. I don't know. That's what they're saying on, like, these leftists were saying. And like, yeah, that should be taken out. And if that's like being left on there, though, that's a fucking huge problem, dude. Especially if you know about it. So yeah, well, Kurt Cobain, I think that he probably would be, at this point, he would probably be supporting Trump. That's what I think. He would probably reluctantly be supporting. I don't think that he would be as big of a supporter as I am. The reason why I'm such a big supporter is because I see, and I've seen it. You know, back in 2015, when I first seen his rallies, and he wasn't even running for president yet, it started waking me up. I was a leftist, man. I voted for Obama. I hated George Bush, and I still to sit here and be like, the Republicans are the best and then the Democrats are the worst. Well, the Democrats have become the worst. And if you want to, RFK had a tremendous speech when he dropped out. Go look at that. The Democrat Party is not what they used to be. He points out they don't care about the people no more. They're all authoritarian. And I think that I don't think that Kurt was stupid. I think that he would probably be along, you know, he'd be like with Joe Rogan. I don't think that he would be pro-vax, like mandating people to have to take a vaccine. I think that he would see like the hypocrisy from the left when they're sitting here saying it's a woman's choice, my body, my choice, and then like being like, oh, you got to take a vaccine. Like, okay, Like, why are you? So that doesn't apply to me, but how can you be for both sides? That's what the left is like, and that's what's so weird about the left. And people get like, the problem with the left is like they don't stand for anything. So like, yeah, they'll say like, yeah, I stand for this, I'm for this, I'm for that, I'm for, like, what was Kamala running on? Joy? This rights, that rights. But at the end of the day, like, it's almost like the new group they support is, it's like a new toy to a kid or a new car. So when the kid gets bored with the toy, he stops playing with it. That's what the Democrats are like. You know, like some minority voter base, they'll sit here and be like, oh yeah, we're for them and this, and then like they'll just completely abandon them. And then they'll actually go for like somebody the complete opposite, for like look at the look at Islam. Okay, like Islam is not for LGBT. They're not. There might be a faction, but overall they're not. They're not for LGBT. And like, if you try to be LGBT in a lot of these Middle East countries, like, it's not going to fare well for you. And they try to be like this and that. It's like they don't live in reality, or they're just making things up. Which is cool if you're like making a book or a movie, like a fiction, but like it doesn't apply to real life. I'm gonna stand in the middle of the street and boycott them, and you know, whatever, instead of actually going over and boycotting in another country. Like, who cares? Like, boycotting here, well, it's meaningless. You're just annoying people standing in the middle of the road. Yeah, these people don't live in reality. And if you go on X, like these leftists, like, they just lie. They completely lie all the time. And it's so frustrating with these people. They don't live in reality, and that's why I think that America will balkanize, and I think that we're gonna probably have either 2 or 3 or 4 different countries. We're gonna probably go to like 4 or 5 different countries. You know, China might take over California, which they are. Israel might take over what is it, New York. You know, the Muslims are gonna probably take over. I don't know why they want to live in the cold, but like, they're taking over Michigan and Minnesota. It's kind of weird. It's kind of, but this is why I think America will eventually annex Canada and Mexico and just make it a huge landmass. And given the demographics of everything, there should be a community for everyone in the world that they can come to that fits them best. And the communities that don't get along with each other, they have complete opposite views, they should be separated by a lot of land mass. This is why I like Christians more than the Muslims, because Christians are more accepting, and they're not going to try to, like, they might like say this and that, but they're not going to, like, when Muslim, like, just look at what's happening in the UK, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. You're either with us or you're an enemy. That's the mindset, and I don't like that. I don't like violence. So, and what I will say about the Muslims, and I think that most Muslims are peaceful people. That's what I'll say. They're peaceful people, and I respect that. And like Malcolm X, he was a Muslim, and he was a degenerate before he got into that. So when he went to prison, he found Allah, And it completely changed his life around. He wasn't a degenerate no more. So it can help people, you know, it can help people. But the ones that are radicals are the ones that just ruin it for everybody else, like ISIS or Hamas or whatever. So it makes the rest of the crowd look bad. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. This video is everywhere, like all my videos.